Hello everybody, it's Mr. Second Amendment, and today in this video we are doing the down and dirty AR-15 cleanup. Alright, this is assuming that you're at a carbine course or it's just really filthy. I'm not talking about mud or anything crazy, just a lot of carbon and a lot of rounds. And you just want to quickly just clean it out, just do a basic field job on it, relubricate it, and just get it back in action for another 1,000 rounds or whatever you have going on. So anyway, I'm just going to show you a down and dirty method using some very limited tools that you might have hanging around your car or truck or just in the range bag. All right, so we got the gun broken open, and here's the basic supplies that all we have in the range bag. I'm just keeping it to a standard red rag here and some 3-in-1 oil, and this is like you have nothing. This is all you have, and you have to quickly just kind of clean it out and get stuff done. The first step, we'll take our trusty rag here. We're just going to wipe this all down. All right, just get rid of all that stuff. Now, depending on what your need is, depending what's going on, this may be the only thing that you need to do or have time to do is just quickly give, especially up here near the gas port, or the gas venting holes right here, and on the gas key and the bolt cam. All right, just take care of whatever you can. All right, if that's all you got, we're going to do that, put that aside, grab the charging handle real quick. You know, it shouldn't really need much, just kind of get the carbon out. Maybe make a fold right here on your rag and just kind of get inside the channel real quick. Just kind of wipe that down. All right, you can see a bunch of carbon come out of there. It's usually where it hides on the charging handle. Now the lower is pretty much good, okay? Not a lot needed here. So I'm just going to go ahead, just kind of wipe that down. It's looking good. I might do a quick function check just to make sure everything is working. I'm not going to let the hammer just slam forward. All right, I'm going to check. Everything's good. All right, the buffer's looking good. It's still there. Everything's working. Cool. Going to put that aside. Last stop of the road here is going to be inside the upper, and it is nasty. Okay, so I'm going to take my trusty rag. We're just going to kind of clean this out. All right, big question, big weirdo zone is going to be that star chamber. All right, how are we planning on dealing with that? If you have, I like to use a toothbrush or an AR brush, and I put it on the end of the rag, and then I go in there. If this is all you have, it's not really going to be that detailed. All right, just going to put it together. And star chamber is generally looking, I mean, it's looking a lot better than it was. We'll put it that way. My regulars at the gun range, he used to be, he's from Israel, used to be in the IDF, and he was telling me that they actually use the firing pin on the edge of a rag or a patch, and that's how they get the star chamber. I'm not going to go ahead and recommend that because that's a relatively important part of your AR-15 that makes it go bang, but just be aware that is something that exists out there. Take it one step further. Let's say you have a little bit, let's say this is all you have, just a rag and some oil, but you have a little bit more time. You can actually worry about breaking down your bolt carrier group. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now. All right, firing pin is looking nice and awesome right now. You guys can see that. All right, everything we love to see. All right, but if you don't want to lose parts, you can take your charging handle and put it upside down like this. All right, you got your firing pin retaining pin. You can set that in there. You got your bolt cam, you can set that in there. You got your firing pin, you can set that in there. All right, and now you have all those little tiny pieces that you don't want to lose. They're just kind of sitting in there as you're working on the rest of the stuff. All right, got just a couple specks of carbon, I guess, on the bolt tail. Yeah, that's an understatement. So that's what we got. You can go ahead and take this opportunity, and all I'm doing is wiping, okay? Some guys will use scrapers and stuff. I've been known to use them. All right, not necessarily a bad thing at all. Gets the carbon off, but really, the thing about the direct impingement AR is any carbon it doesn't want, it starts to build up, and at some point, it just starts venting everything it doesn't want. Okay, and that's what these holes are. These are your two main venting holes where the extra gas gets vented out. That's one of the places it escapes. All right, so this bolt is not the picture of complete perfection, but it's mainly cleaned off. It's got all the unnecessary stuff and free carbon. All right, I'm going to take the firing pin, just do a quick little wipe job on it, just like that. All right, we still got some nastiness hanging around, but that's okay. It's still going to function. We're going to take our bolt cam, And we're going to go ahead, just kind of hand wipe it, do our own thing there. So this you got to be a little careful with because it likes to just all of a sudden you have nothing and then you have everything. So you got to be careful with this kind of bottle. All right, just going to apply some lubrication onto the gas rings. All right, going to apply, that looks like enough. Going to apply a little bit. Let me make sure you can still see. There we go. Apply a little bit here. All right, I'm just going to take it and just rotate it around on that raised rim of the bolt. Okay, just like that. So now you can see there's only really two parts of this bolt that actually have lubrication. Insert that. While you're at it, you can just double check the gas staking or the gas key stake job. Make sure nothing's walking out on you or anything like that. That's something you would typically find out while you're shooting, that you have a severe leak or something's wrong there. But, you know, I don't know. There's different qualities of AR out there. You just want to make sure it's all good. So this, like I said in the last video a long time ago, this is kind of the most needed part in terms of lubrication. Okay, so now firing pin can get in. Firing pin, just got finger apply. Whatever's left on my fingertips, that's fine. All right, I'm going to back it up here. Now I'm going to insert the firing pin. All right, just like that, it's in. Now a tip I like to use just to make sure it all goes back together correctly every single time is I'm going to push with my index finger all the way at the back of the firing pin as I go ahead and I drop in the firing pin retaining pin. All right, just like that. Now as a final check real quick, as I'm pushing up on the back of the firing pin, I'm going to compress the bolt and I should see the firing pin sticking out on the bolt face. All right, and that lets me know that I went ahead and I put this together correctly. All right, and you can also do the tap just to make sure your firing pin doesn't fall out. That's just a really simple, easy, stupid thing that you can incorporate into your procedure here that's going to help you out, make sure everything's cool. This is the raceway, these 4 rails right here. This is the bolt carrier group where the carrier actually goes and reciprocates and makes contact with the inside of your upper. All right, these are the raceway rails. So we're going to do a little bit of oil and just kind of finger apply. All right, that's kind of a mess. That's a mess. All right. So now it's kind of crazy with that lubrication. We're going to clean it up. So I'm just going to apply, finger apply on the side of the gas key, on the rest of the raceway. All right, I'm also going to take this. Let's see, now you can see. And do that, finger apply right there. All right, and now I'm taking the rag and I'm getting rid of any extra stuff that we absolutely don't need. I'm telling you guys, direct impingement AR, limited points of contact on the inside of your upper receiver with the actual bolt carrier itself. All right, some of you guys have been talking about, and I've been looking at the comments from my original video from a long time ago. Some of you guys are talking about the bolt lugs and the bolt face. Why don't you lubricate that? All right, I rolled in pictures of what the star chamber looked like. You know, do I really want to be going ahead and inserting, you know, a dirt magnet and making stuff get worse in there? All right, so now you can kind of see what's going on. We got lubrication on the raceway rails only. This thing is not soaking, it's not dripping. All right, you guys can kind of see the glare on that. That's nice. All right, guys, so here's what we're left with. And you can see just the raceway. I'm gonna see if I can get the angle right so you guys can see there's just a little bit of lubrication on the 4 rails of the raceway. And I worked the action a couple times. All right, everything is clean enough. The star chamber noticeably has a little bit better of an improvement. All right, we got most of the carbon and the stuff and the gunk out, and now we're ready to shoot. All right, guys, so if you are seriously in a rush or whatever the case, you don't even have time to take this apart and it needs more lubrication, a really quick side trick here. Make sure it's clear. All right, so what you can do is you notice you can see the 2 gas venting holes. All right, but as I pull it back, you'll see the gas rings. All right, you see the gas rings in there? So that is an easy access point that we can actually put some more oil in there. All right, I'm gonna try again. This is kind of messy with this applicator tip thing that it has. And I'm gonna try to very carefully, all right, I'm basically just injecting some oil in there. That went straight into the gas rings. It's gonna help me out in there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and work that a little bit. All right, now the gas rings, they've got lubrication. All right, let's see if you can see them there. All right, so now what I can do, because it's my favorite thing to do here, is take a rag, and I don't need this on the outside of my carrier. What's that doing? That's not doing anything for me, all right, except it's just a big lake that's getting ready to attract some sand or dust. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of it. All right, we don't need it. And just dry it out. Doesn't matter how ugly it looks. All right, it's a tool, not a jewel. That's what I like to say. I mean, you take care of it, but it's not a safe queen. All right, there we go. All right, so that's an easy, quick way to add some lubrication if you only have just a second and you don't even have time to take this apart. All right, guys, so after you've done that, the first couple shots, you're going to have a little bit extra smoke or a little bit extra of the oil burn off. Just anything else it didn't need, it's just getting rid of it. All right, that's the thing about a direct impingement AR. If there's extra oil, if there's extra carbon, anything extra it doesn't need, it's going to vent it out, and it's coming out of here. All right, especially if you're suppressed, it's coming out of here. It's everywhere. All right, so the first couple shots are going to be a little bit smoky. All right, that's how you do a basic field clean. She's probably good for at least another 500 rounds. You could probably go 1,000, to be honest, just like that. But I'll check every 500 rounds, and that's how you do it. Down and dirty AR-15 field cleaning.